Hello, students and viewers at home. This is another online teaching and learning of St. Charles College, Onitsha. This is English department with the teacher, Mrs. Ngozi Obidi. Today, we are going to look at another oral English, which is meant for senior secondary school. You should remember that last week, we studied oral English for junior secondary school. So today we are going over to oral English for senior secondary school. Topic: suprasegmental features with emphasis on syllable and stress. Specific objectives. By the end of the lesson, the student should be able to differentiate between segmental and suprasegmental features of oral English, which we call phonetics. Second, define suprasegmental features of oral English and mention them. Third, explain each of the features and write examples. Fourth, answer questions correctly on any of the features. Now remember, suprasegmental features of oral English, phonetics, are those features of speech which extends over more than one segment. That is, they are more than one segment. These include intonation, or in some theories, vowel harmony. This is the peak of oral English studies. Second, we have the syllable. This is a unit of a word that is pronounced with a single puff or at a stretch. Stress. This is an extra force or energy used in pronouncing a particular syllable or word. Pitch is the normal melodic height of an individual speech. Tone is the pitch variation and tempo, the slowness between the stressed syllables. Rhyme is the correspondence of same-sounding words or syllables. Consonant cluster. This is the gathering or clustering of consonant sounds, not letters. Mind you, not letters but sounds. Let's look at the elaborate study of common suprasegmental features of oral English. 1. The syllable. This is a unit of a word that is pronounced at a stretch or with a single puff or air. A word has a group of sounds or a single sound that is meaningful. In the syllable, there is the most important sound without which there will be no syllable. This is called the peak or nucleus. The nucleus is the life or life wire of the syllable. The nucleus is a vowel sound, not letter. Is a vowel sound, not letter, inside the group of sounds. The nucleus can be any of the syllable consonants, m and n. This means that a unit of a word must contain a vowel sound or either m or n before it is called a syllable. Therefore, words are broken into syllables by considering the presence of the nucleus, that is the vowel sound, m or n, inside the word. Let us break some words into syllables. Education. Education. You have ju, cation. Table. 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 Communication. Communication. Eaten. Eaten. A clear look at the syllable structure of education or education shows 4 syllables because each is pronounced with a single puff or at a stretch. Is a syllable because it is a nucleus and can stand alone in the pronunciation of its word. Education or education. Shun is a syllable because although it does not contain any vowel sound, it contains the syllable consonant, n. Likewise, other 3 examples, table, communication, and eating. Let's look at the types of words according to syllable structure. Syllable structure means the number of syllables in a word. A word may contain one syllable, two syllables, three syllables, as the case may be. There are three types of syllable, namely monosyllable, disyllable, and polysyllable structures. 1. Monosyllable word. This is a word that has only one unit of pronunciation. It is pronounced at a stretch, no matter the number of letters in the spelling. Examples are go, go. 2. Church, church. 3. Come, come. Disyllable word. This is a word that contains two syllables. Examples are going. You can see the first one is go, monosyllable. This one is going. You have go and in. Going. 2. Table. 3. Something. 4. Nothing, and so on and so forth. Polysyllabic words. These are words that have more than two syllables. Examples are community, community, community. It has 4 syllables. As you can see, it's broken into 4 units according to pronunciation. 2. Secretary. Please, let us be careful of this word. It is not secretary or secretary. It is secretary according to the native speakers. Secretary. 3. Stupidity. Stupidity. This has 4 syllables. 4. Transition. 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 3 syllables. 5th. Confusion. Confusion. 3 syllables. 6. Psychological. 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 If you look into the words, you find out that each syllable contains a nucleus. Remember, the nucleus is a vowel sound, or n, or m. Each of them must be there. Any of them must be there before you say that it is a syllable. Let us look at psi. It contains the diphthong I. K contains the sure sound l. Contains o. J contains I, and k contains sure r. Number 7. Approximately. Approximately, not approxi. Approximately. 8. Mathematics or mathematics. Mathematics. Remember, the theta is pronounced with the tip of your tongue. Math, not mathematics. Mathematics. Elementary. 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 You have 4 syllables too, or 5 syllables. Elementary. Elementary. That sure sound occurs before t, terry. And the native speakers always pronounce the sure sound out. Elementary. We call it elementary, but they pronounce it elementary, terry, just like secretary. 10. Student. 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 Not don't, but don't. 2 syllables. Now let us look at stress. That's another suprasegmental feature of oral English. Stress means the use of extra force or energy to pronounce a particular syllable in a word. For example, the word present as a verb is broken into 2 syllables based on pronunciation. Present. The syllable that is pronounced with extra force is indicated with capital letters or a capital letter, as the case may be. The syllable that is stressed must be indicated with capital letter or capital letters. 1. Present. Present as a verb. Remember, we have present. They have different pronunciation. This one is present as a verb, so it has the stress on the second syllable. Pre. Mm, mm, present. For the noun form of it, you say mm, present. Present. I received a present. 2. Champagne. Champagne. Not champagne, but champagne. Champagne. 3. Laboratory. Laboratory. 4 syllables. 4. Conduct. That is manner. Conduct. Manner. You have conduct. 5th. Conduct as a verb. Conduct is a verb, so it has 2 syllables. It has 2 syllables. But remember, we are talking about the syllable that is stressed. So if you look at the words, you will see the letters that are written in capital letters. That shows where the stress occurs. Types of stress. There are 2 main types of stress, namely word stress and sentence stress. Word stress is a stress that is found in a word as shown above. Here we have the following. 1. Primary stress. This is a stress that is more prominent in a word where there are more than one stress. Examples are ability, ability. In ability, you find out that B and Li make use of the voice moving up. That is making use of extra force, B and Li. But there is one that is more prominent than the other, and that is what? B. So you have to do what? Write B in capital letter as what? As the primary stress, because you have the secondary one, which is not capitalized. We have examples as ability. This is a primary stress because it takes the voice up higher than Li, which also takes the voice up. Understandable. Understandable. You have understandable. 2 syllables are stressed, but one is more prominent. So the prominent one is written in capital letters. B, we have secondary stress. This is the stress syllable that is not as prominent as the other in the word. Examples are Li in ability, D in understandable, C unstressed. There are sounds that are not stressed in a word. There are syllables that are not stressed, which means they are not pronounced with extra force. They are not pronounced with extra energy. The unstressed syllable is that syllable of a word that is not pronounced with greater force or energy. Examples are A in ability. Remember, when you pronounce ability, you say which is ability. And UN in understandable. When you pronounce UN in understandable, you say understandable. You make use of your hard pulse in order to determine where there is stress. Remember, this is somebody's language, so there is no mathematics there. You have to imitate the native speakers. Note that is called sure. Sure sound is always unstressed in every word it occurs. It is called the unstressed syllable. We have shifting stress. This occurs in words that have 2 syllables. The aim of the stress is to increase the grammatical name. The aim of the stress is to indicate, please take note of that word, is to indicate the grammatical name. When you use shifting stress, it is used in words that have 2 syllables, mainly. So when the stress shifts to the other direction, it gives us another part of speech. Examples are record. You can see the capitalized part of the word. Re. You use the extra force. You say re, then cord. This is a noun. Then when you want to use the verb, you say record. You say record as a verb, please, and record as a noun. Record these things I am talking about? Give me the record. So record is noun, record is verb. 2, export, verb, export. 3, conduct, noun, conduct, verb. 4, transport, noun, transport, verb. Try to learn oral English by listening to the native speakers or good speakers. Please learn oral English by listening to good speakers or the native speakers. We have sentence stress. This is a stress on a whole word in a sentence without minding the syllables. This is to indicate that the stressed word matters so much to the speaker. Example, I need a red pen. The speaker wants the listener to pay more attention to red, not any pen, but red. There are 2 types of sentence stress, namely emphatic stress and contrastive stress. These 2 types depend on the speaker's intention. An emphatic stress is used to emphasize a point to show that it is the most important message in the whole sentence. Emphatic stress also indicates contrast because when a speaker says school's reopening has been suspended, he means school, not church. As you can see, it is contrasting. When you raise your voice up on a particular word, you want your listener to pay greater attention to it. And when you want your listener to pay greater attention to it, you are trying to tell the listener that it is this word and not the other one. Therefore, in our lesson, we will lay more emphasis on emphatic stress. When one is asked a sensitive question like, what is your father? To answer the question, he has to lay emphasis on the most important word which the person that asked the question demands, which is what. What? That what should be capitalized in that sentence to show stress. The whole word is capitalized. What? By stressing the most demanded answer, laying emphasis on it. Example, my father is a pharmacist. My father is a pharmacist. You raise your voice on pharmacist. You see, that is why it is the capital letters are used there to show that that whole word matters so much to the speaker. He wants you to pay greater attention to it. Contrastively, it means that my father is a pharmacist, not a gynecologist. Note that your answer to an emphatic stress must refer to the emphasized word in the question, indicating contrast of the word stressed. Example, my principal is computer literate. My principal is computer literate. Now look at the options. Is my father computer literate? B, is your principal computer literate? C, is my principal psychological? D, was my principal computer literate? Note, the most suitable question to the statement above is A. So your answer should be A. Is my father computer literate? So that your answer should be, my principal is computer literate, not my father. You see the contrast, contrasting father with the actual word principal. So we can say that emphatic stress and contrastive stress go hand in hand. My good listeners and students, my great students, we have come to the end of this particular part of senior secondary oral English. I would like you to answer the following questions and send your answers to my WhatsApp number, which I will give you later. Look at the evaluation questions. 1, define a word. 2, define a sentence. 3, what is a syllable? 4, what is the most important part of a syllable called? 5, what is the difference between segmental and suprasegmental features of oral English? 6, mention the 2-syllable consonants. 7, what is the best way to break words into syllables? 8, break the following words into syllables: thermometer, discovery, education. 9, who are the original owners of oral English? 10, choose the right question or option to the statements below. My God, has not forsaken me? A. Has my God forsaken me? B. Has my Father forsaken me? C. Has my God not protected me? D. Has my Father not forsaken me? Now, my great students, after answering the questions I gave you, you can contact me on my WhatsApp number 08111418828. Thank you for listening and remain blessed.